For as you can tell, I didn't feel like turning on my background lights, but I will later today as of recording because of the fact that there's going to be a Liar's Bar stream later today at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which I'll leave a link to the stream in question in the description down below for those who wants to go check it out. Which it's a buddy stream at that, not a individual stream, which speaking of individual streams, I confirmed this on my social media, but I will say it for those who may be living under a rock. August 17th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be having a Among Us collaboration for part 1 of my birthday stream, and then part 2 the next day is going to be a Fall Guys stream. And I'm not gonna lie, I have a good feeling that both of those streams in question is going to be a fun one. There we go. And as for who all is going to be involved in the stream in question, I am going to pull up the post in reference, but in doing so, I am gonna check my notifications real quick, and I don't see any new ones, but that's okay. Who all I'm going to be playing with in question is going to be Madam Summer Nights, but she's going to be doing a rebranding August 27th, which the channel name used to be Summer and Winter, but Winter stepped down, which is the reason on to why Summer is rebranding, which I can understand why. Which, I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking forward to seeing her debut. Who else I am collaborating with is Kaminari Ketsetsu, Darius Does Stuff, Chrysona Core, and as for members of the Buddies who is going to be playing Among Us, it is going to be Blind Tech, Jovo Knight, and Rosenwood 1. Which, I'm not gonna lie, I have a good feeling that it's going to be a fun collab for when we get into that point. Whether or not if Cobalt Puppy is going to be able to tag along is a whole other question on its own. And, of course, outside of streams, we're going to have a episode in collaboration with Demon Lord Tank coming out during the day of my birthday for the All Things Nerdy podcast, which is going to be episode 43, which we didn't record as long as we wanted to because he was 2 hours late at the time we recorded it, but it is what it is at the end of the day. Hopefully we'll have a longer episode next time he comes around. We can neither confirm nor deny if it'll happen. And part 2 is going to be a Fall Guys community night. It is in the same time zone, but it's going to go from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m., which, to recap on the time zone, it's Eastern Standard Time. And as for the idea of what I'm thinking, the idea is that I will give credit where credit is given for the clips, but I'm thinking of the idea of having some video clips of other content creators that I am friends with saying happy birthday to me, which if you're on board for that, I think that it would be a fun idea to do. And of course, how credit would be given is that I am thinking of the idea of having chapters based on who all said happy birthday to me. And as for whether or not if they would have their channels be on display, if they want to self-promote themselves is a whole other question on its own, but if not, the idea that I'm thinking is have the icon of the social media platform, like let's say YouTube or Twitch, for example, and their username. That way, y'all can check them out for when that time comes. And yeah, that's pretty much all that I want to get out of the way. And to John, Jovo, Rose, Summer, Chrysona, Darius, Kami, And the only individual who's not a content creator that's tagging along for Among Us is Solcesta. I don't know if Call Out Puppy's tagging along yet, so that's a we'll see. But to everybody else, I'm looking forward to seeing you in the Among Us stream as well as the Fall Guys community night. And if you are legally old enough to drink in your country, depending on where you're from, I invite you to have some drinks with me. If I end up buying myself some alcohol, I'm not 100% sure yet, but if you do, then there's a high chance it's going to be in part 1. Part 2 is a whole other question on its own. See you all around, and thank you for hearing me out. And for those who wants to give some birthday wishes the day before or during the day of, thank you for doing so. It is very much appreciated. See you all around.